So today we're going to try and get the 32 running. We're going to drop the tank right now, pull the fuel pump out. We're going to see how bad it is, see if there's any rust in the tank. I'm confident that fuel's been sitting there for over a decade. So we'll rip the tank out, rip the fuel pump out. We're going to change the fuel pump to a bigger fuel pump. And yeah, we'll see what else we can. I've just noticed here, there is a rather large crease in the floor of the boot here. I have to inspect what that is all about once this fuel drop drops. Looks like it might have had a hit in the ass somewhere. Oh look. Okay, all done. Let's have a look at this. Nice. Stock RB 20E fuel pump. Probably does like 40 litres per hour or something. That's wild. Damn, boy. Alright, cool. Let's get under these straps and take a look at it. You know what? I watched a video on a dude on YouTube getting this out, and he forgot to take the fuel flap out, and I was like, you know what, when I do that, I won't forget. Guess what I forgot? To take the fuel filler out. So, yeah. But all coming good. Had to get the wheel off to get to the outside strap bolt. One thing I am noticing, this car has got a lot more rust than I thought. But that's okay. It was cheap and leaves a lot of room for improvement. Right. Out. And seriously, there is... Oh my gosh. That thing is chockers. There's seriously so much in there. I'm glad we pulled it out. Look at this too. Every hose is perished. Basically every hose. There's a bunch of hoses under here. They go to the pump. They're all perished. Yeah. I mean, it's what you get for something that's 35 years old. A lot of these cars, before they're imported to America or Australia, they'll sit for years and years and years untouched because they're a dime a dozen over there. So a lot of the cars that we see imported these days, unless they're from a really reputable dealer or importer, are just damaged, and they're just have been untouched for years and years and years. Probably the same situation with this one. It's the rust underneath it is pretty severe. Like I said, the salt spray from the ocean, because they're so close to the ocean, it just affects these cars, and everything has just got either surface rust or really bad corrosion. And if we look under here, this is no exception. We've got just everything. Everything has just got surface rust over it. But yeah, see what I mean? The rust is significant, but what did you expect? Just means more work. I think the next step is obviously go through and replace all of the fuel hoses from the back to the front of the car. I'm going to jump online tonight. I'm going to order a new pump, probably something in the vicinity of a Walbro, maybe 255 or something. It's a good size pump for a 2 litre. We don't plan on running E85 or anything silly like that. So multiple things online. People were saying vinegar and bicarbonate soda. A lot of people were saying other rust cleaning products, but acetone and a chain obviously seems to do the job pretty well. So, and then we rolled that around for a good 20 minutes. As you can see, chain in there, that loosens up all the rust. Honestly, I think it's looking pretty good. Like, there's really not much in there. It's looking good. So we replaced this hose, the one that was all perished. When we were undoing the fuel tank strap, this strap was really hard to get off, and I was wondering why, because it had a hit in the back section here. So got the old trusty sledgy out, bash that back in straight. Apart from that, we will chuck that tank back in now. So we'll get rid of this fuel pump now. So we can hook that one off. Knock that one off. Getting that tank back up there. I spent the last 25 minutes looking for one of the hanger bolts that Oakland had stashed. I ended up finding it inside the one of the holes of the wheels. So rip this fuel pump out, and that honestly might be it for the day. I'm running out of light pretty quick. Got to get this car back in the garage. I've got to order the fuel pump, so when the fuel pump arrives, probably midweek, we'll chuck that back in. More than likely have to replace injectors because they'll be all gunked up and get them cleaned. For the price of getting them cleaned, you could almost buy a new set of injectors. So yeah, GDR injectors are a direct bolt in, and their flow rate is like twice as much as stock RP20 injectors. So that might be it for now. Might be it for the video today, but yeah, keep you updated. Right, we're back. We've got a bunch of parts today that we're going to put on the car, hopefully get this thing running. So we've got 2 lots of oil, HBR 10, it's a 10W50, fully synthetic. Better oil for running in older engines. So this engine is obviously nearly 30 years old, so heavier, thicker oil runs better in older engines. We've got fuel lines, so we're going to replace the fuel lines to the injectors. This came, what we were waiting on. So we've got TI Performance. What do we got there? Walbro 255 pump. We'll throw that one in the tank. We have fuel filter. We have oil filter for our oil. Degreaser as standard. We have 6 brand new plugs and a battery. So there is absolutely no reason why we can't get this thing running today. So first things first, we will drop the oil in the car, and then while that is draining, we'll come around the back, we'll throw the pump in, replace these fuel lines, and then we'll just go from there. Looking down inside the head, and it looks immaculate in there, hey? So, good sign. But, drain the oil, we'll head around to the back now, start soldering the pump in. Got a connector soldered on, put our hose on. This would have to be probably the best set of spanners I've ever owned. These are called Gear Wench. They're a German brand, and tell you what, I seriously cannot fault them. They are insane. So yeah, solder them up. We'll throw the pump in. I'm gonna get some steel zip ties to hold this thing in place, because I really don't trust plastic sitting inside a fuel tank. It's only a number of years before it ends up breaking down and going through your fuel tank. And we've spent so much effort cleaning this tank out. The last thing we want to do is put bits of plastic through it. So we'll grab some steel zip ties. We'll fit the pump in place and we'll chuck it in. Done. That is our pump assembled. Chucked our filter on the bottom. We have our metal zip tie. Connectors are all soldered on. Just a matter of throwing the pump back in, connecting it back up, put the fuel lines on, and then we'll go back to the front of the car and we will change over the fuel line to the rail. All right, pump is back in. That took so much more time than it should have. As we were dropping the pump back in, we connected the feed and return line to the top of the pump, and then the O-ring that seats around the top of the fuel tank fell inside, so we had to take everything off, pull it back out. We've just taken the old fuel filter off. We've thrown our new one on down there. We need to replace this fuel line back to the hard line that runs along the chassis rail. As you can see, it's all perished. This one's good. This one, not so much. We'll do that. We'll then put oil in, put the new filter on. We need to flush the radiator and then the spark plugs. That's a mission in itself. That thing was literally rusted on. Look at the state of it.
And Dad,
yes, mate.
Maybe can we pack all of this up?
Pack.
Okay, there's enough.
It's enough. Put all the plugs in. Coil packs are back on. Igniter's connected. So we ended up placing these 3 little vacuum lines with brand new hose and a brand new T-piece. So, radiator's topped up. We literally have to connect the battery. I'm going to shoot down the road, grab some fuel, and then we're going to try. All right? Hang 10. Guys, we came so close, yet so far. We couldn't get it. Firing. Turns over. The fuel pump. You can hear the whine in it, but for some reason, it's just not turning over. I think it's got something to do with the igniter. The coil pack loom is just absolutely screwed. Over years, the loom gets all hard and cracked, and each one of the, as you can see here, all of the plugs that go to the coil packs, they're just all smashed. So these are literally just pushed in there now. So I'm going to say it's got something to do with that. Order a new set of coil pack plugs for that. They might come in a week or two. I think I have a spare igniter. We might try swap out the igniter. But for now, I think we're going to call it here. It's getting late and my wife is getting grumpy. I've been on this all day, so... but hey, look, yeah, a little bit bummed, but same time. Just means you guys are going to come back for another video. So, as always, I hope you enjoyed, and please hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next one when we get this thing started. Catch you later.